Welcome to the Weighing In podcast. We have a very special guest tonight. My man, Mr. Fluffy. Mr. Fluffy, how you doing? Anthony Hernandez, thanks for joining me tonight, brother.
Dude, what's up? It's fucking it's good, man. I'm doing a lot better now. It's like I'm finally been training again, so that's fucking great to be back on the mats, kind of going crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But no, it's
anytime you're dealing with injuries, right? You get the itch, especially when you're right there at the very top, just sniffing the title shot right there. You just want to get healthy as fast as you can.
no for sure. But I mean everything happens for a reason, you know what I mean? I'm just believing that and I'm just gonna get back to work as I was trying to, you know what I mean?
Anthony, there's got to be something inside you right now that's kind of eating you up a little bit. You fought Brendan Allen twice. You know, this was kind of a number one contender shot against RDR, and kind of whoever wins this fight, there's a good chance would have been fighting for the title next. You know, kind of just,
No.
how do you feel seeing Brendan Allen step into your position?
I mean, dude, I like Brandon Allen as a person, so like dude, if he gets that shot and shuts the hype down, then it looks better for me too, I think, you know what I mean? And good for him because like I like Brandon Allen, you know what I mean? I like everyone's hella cool in the game so far that I've met. And it is what it is. But I think it's gonna be a fucking very fun fight because both of them come to fucking bang. And like Brandon Allen's a fast little fucking like he hits hard and like the other dude, he's uh he's awkward and like big and lanky, but like I don't know. Brandon Allen's got good grappling, and the other guy's got good grappling. So I'm like, as a fan, I really do want to see this fight.
When you were training for RDR? What were kind of the takeaways that you kind of could see now from Brent after fighting Brendan Allen twice, and then you're training for RDR? How do you see that matchup kind of coming down?
Well, I mean, if he comes up and fights the same way he fought the last Southpaw, he fought who's the Italian guy? Marvin.
Marvin Vettori.
So he looked really good in that fight. I mean, if he can keep it on the feet and do some shit like that again, I think the favors in Brandon Allen. He's fucking tricky and he's tough. He's fast. But RDR is a tough motherfucker, and that fool comes forward like no matter what. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I'm excited to see how it goes.
He's almost very reckless, like almost like as if he just doesn't care. And he also too, when he got hit, we got clipped by Robert Whitaker. He seemed to even like not to care whether he got hit from the bottom, any of those things. Like Robert jumped right on top, was able to land some big shots from the top.
No,
Brendan
yeah,
Allen's not one of those guys you really want on top of you either, being able to posture up and land shots like Robert Whitaker did.
no, for sure. He cut my fucking eyebrow. For
Uh,
sure. He's definitely not someone you want on top. But I think it's gonna be a very fucking good fight. Like I'm looking forward to watching it.
how do you think Brennan's going to be able to get past the RDR's like long limbs? I mean, that's kind of where everyone's had a problem with him. You know, he fought at 185 and won, became the champion there. He was the 205-pound champ there and won as well. Then he went up to heavyweight, struggled, to win the heavyweight title, didn't win it. But bottom line is everyone has a hard time with him because he has that tall, long, lanky body style and doesn't care if he
Yeah,
goes to the ground, the knees and elbows. He kind of grimy in that clinch area, which you are as well. How does
yeah.
someone like Brendan Allen deal with that though?
I think as he keeps him at his distance, and if he can keep him on the outside and stay fast with him, I think Brendan is fucking quick. You know what I mean? He gets in trouble when you let you grab him, and then it gets bad. But he's got good ass wrestling and shit. He has good reversals. So I don't know. The other guy, RDR, has really good fucking like he throws up like triangles and like he's got long legs and he has that like kind of has that like Gumby style
Yeah.
attacks of jujitsu. He kind of so you got to be careful. But Allen's fucking got really good jujitsu. So I don't think like he's fucking tough. I fought him and like he's hard to finish. You know what I mean? I don't see him just like getting caught in the choke or some shit. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a fucking war, and I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think
Sounds like
whoever
you
is in the better shape will get that.
sounds like you have a lot of respect for both these guys.
No, for sure. They're both hella cool dudes. You know what I mean? I've talked to them and fucking shook their hand. And I got no issue with them. Like at the end of the day, when the fucking cage door closes, like I sign the waiver, you sign the waiver, let the best man win, bro. Like
It's funny. I would have thought that you would have been some one of those guys, like, when I see you around the week of the fight, like, "Nah, stay away from me." I don't know why I had that perception. Maybe it's just because, like, I know I've fought Nate Diaz and I've been around Nick Diaz. We came up together kinda thing, and the whole scrap pack in that Northern California area, like, we saw each other when we weren't scheduled to fight. We were all cool. "What's up, man? How you doing?" Let's
yeah.
get some drinks. It was but when there was a fight going on, when I was fighting Gilbert, and Nate was like, "Don't talk to me, man. We're not boys right now. And then when I was fighting Nate, Gil would be like, "Don't talk to me, man. We're not boys right now." It's like it was a very. But for me,
Yeah,
I always got the feeling like you're someone that just kind of walks around like, I don't need to be anyone's friend. I'm just here to fuck shit up. And
but
so,
basically, that's how I feel for sure in the cage. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
at the end of the day, like I really don't give a fuck. If you fucking kill me, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm gonna bring that same energy. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try to
yeah.
take your fucking head off. So whatever. But no, it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? It's just violence.
If you have to pick a winner, how do you see who you picking, and how do you see it going down?
Man, I'm not very good at these picks. Last time I did the fucking pick with DDP, he got fucked. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna watch this one, man. I'm not gonna pick because like no matter how it goes, I think it's gonna be a fun fight to watch. You know what I mean? And I
nice.
like both guys, and like however it goes, I really like. I wish them both the best. They both got families, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. So how like I guess for me when I'm looking at you and take a look back at your career, you have the loss to Kevin Holland,
Mhm.
and right after that you rattle off 8 straight. And you're still, you've what 6 of the 8 I believe are finishes by submission. Like, what was it about that Kevin Holland fight that kind of changed your mentality? Because you seem like a lot different fighter coming in. Like
Yeah.
when you fought Vieira and got the
Mhm.
submission, and then everything just seemed like it was in your favor after that. The mentality changed, life changed. Was there something in your life that changed the way you were thinking
Uh,
about fighting? What was it?
No, man, like I always thought like I had that it factor to be the champion and shit, man. But like there was like a point in my life where like my dad is my best friend died, and that shit kind of like threw me off the fucking deep end a little bit. And then it took me getting my head out of my ass a little bit. And then like I tried taking fights for money because I was like I had nowhere to go and I was living in a trailer and like I was 6 of us in a trailer off grid and it's fucking rough, you know what I mean? So like shit happens, it is what it is. I hit a rough was it a rough patch in life and I was trying to fight like when I was hurt and shit. And then after that I was like, man, fuck this shit. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right and I'm gonna do it like with my fucking pride, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go in there hurt. I'm gonna go in there with the fucking best version of myself and I'm gonna fucking lay it down. And ever since then I made that fucking pact to myself and like the Brandon Allen fight, I probably shouldn't have fought because I fucking had like separated ribs and I
Mm,
had a fucking ear infection. But I was like, man, I can get him again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it is what it is. Besides that one, like I've only fought and like not hurt, and like when I can actually put in work for a good camp. And
Mhm.
like so far, that's been like the only difference. It was like I've always believed in myself. There's no like. And that's probably the issue sometimes. Is I believe in myself too much, and I'll
Mhm.
go in there half-ass hurt and shit, and be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because like 9 times out of 10, I'm okay with most people. You know what I mean? So I take my chances sometimes too often.
I lost my dad at a very young age, and I was actually scheduled to fight Dwayne Ludwig literally like 10 days later. And
Oh
so,
shit.
and I ended up taking the fight, and I'm getting the win over Dwayne. But yeah, I lost my dad just suddenly too. So I understand what you're going through, man. It was a very life changing situation. So it's one of those situations where you like start reevaluating your life. Like,
No, yeah,
okay, I know I've got this in me, and you can tell by
yeah,
the way after the Kevin Holland fight, the way I've seen you fight you have just changed and elevated your game in so many different ways. Not just your like your fucking balls like coming forward and putting pressure, but literally like your emphasis on making sure that your conditioning's on point, not just recklessly out there fighting, but putting the grind on, getting after it, chasing submissions, trying to get the finish. Everything about you after the Kevin Holland fight, I was wondering what was it that got your life turned around? What was it that really made you focus on what the goal was. And the goal was, why am I doing this if I don't want to try to be the best? And I could see exactly
yeah,
everything that you were going through and not even knowing like
yeah.
literally like I just hit you up the other day and said, "Hey, let's film." And you said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, cool." Like we've never ran into each like we've said, I
No,
think I've asked you. That's it. Like, but man, the Adolfo Vieira fight really got me. I was like, this kid, he's got something, man. He's got something. And then sure enough, you rattled off 8. And it's huge. It's huge. And just you've got to be feeling some satisfaction in life right now, knowing that you're one fight away from a potential title shot.
no, I feel good, but I'm just like I'm kind of pissed off at myself because I let that shit take so long. You know what I mean? Like I could have like it's just one of those moments where you're like, you fucking dumbass, why didn't you
Yeah.
just why didn't you just do it right the first time? You know what I mean? But like shit happens. I've never been perfect, so fuck it. You know what I mean? Just run it.
Yeah,
And
none of
like
us yeah, none of us have been that way. We've never been perfect. Sometimes we just need a little kick in the ass. you
No,
know?
straight up.
That's really what it is. Has I was reading up on the injury, and you didn't tell me. I'm not going to ask, and I know we're
Yeah.
trying to keep it quiet. It is what it is, and but I mean, how are you feeling right now? You feel? I know you said you're back to training. Are you 100% back to training? Are we looking at like before the end of the year if we possibly can get on a card, or early next year? What are we looking at?
Ideally, like honestly, where I've started like training and shit, I've just started last week. I started sparring for the first time back, and they're like, "All right, you feel good? Nothing's hurting. Like nothing's in pain." They're like, "Let's go ahead and ease into sparring, and then we'll go from there." And
Mhm.
like I did my first sparring, and like, dude, I'm fucking out of shape. Like I'm fucking 5 weeks off, bro. Like of not training and like actually rehabbing and shit. That shit's fucking and it, like once you, I mean, you grab someone after 5 weeks of not training, you're fucking so out of shape. I'm like, I need to get back in shape. I mean, I need to get in fight shape. What I consider fight shape. And I've already been doing my hill work and like running and shit. I feel good. Like I feel good again. But I feel stupid ass tight because like I haven't been doing like kicks and shit. I haven't been doing like a lot of motion. So like I just need these next. I feel like next week and this week is I just got to keep opening my body, and I think I can get my ass back in camp, and hopefully like early next year, ideally, would be dope. I heard there's like a card in LA, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're hearing. So they're saying
So
probably January or February, I think, is the card in LA.
that
That's
would
what,
be fucking perfect. That would give me enough time to like beat anyone in the world. So
yeah. Um, have you had any conversation with the UFC about potential opponents? Are they waiting to see who wins this fight? I mean, is there nothing?
this was just like they told me get healthy and then hit him back up. And like this week is literally uh fucking it's Tuesday, so
Yeah.
it's my second day back of this week training. It's like, and I'm still like out of shape. So you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to open everything back up and get everything going again.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's always tough that first week, maybe, it's maybe 2. I mean, you've been off for 5
Yeah,
weeks, but sometimes your body just needs that full rest. Like you were saying, you came off the Delize fight and you were like, "Let's go. I'm ready to do it again." And
yeah,
your body's like, "No, no, we're not ready to do this again. We need a
yeah,
little bit of a break. Let's dial
yeah.
it back." And your body will speak to you. And
No,
maybe
for
you
sure.
needed this and end up moving forward. But I do want to ask you about the DDP and Hamzat fight because you did pick DDP. You thought maybe he
Yeah.
would get it done. Just more of a scrappy kind of guy, right? But he had no
Oh,
answer for
yes.
wrestling. But when you take a look at Hamzat, what do you see in him that makes him so good? Besides the wrestling, what about him makes him good besides the wrestling?
I mean, that's all I really see, to be honest. That's all I've like seen, to be honest. Like he showed his striking with the Gilbert, and I don't think it was the greatest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that'd be a very fun fight. His best thing is his wrestling. You let him connect his hands, and then it's fucking nightmare from there. Um, I think I'm not saying he'd be a fucking easy fight. It'd be a fucking hard fight, and it'd be a fun fight. But like, it'd be a very boring fight, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like those kind of guys, when you fight those kind of guys, it's fucking boring as shit.
Yeah.
It's like guys that want to like lay on you and shit. Like, I mean, I get it. I do it too sometimes when I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like, it happens to the best of us. But like, he's a really good fucking wrestler. So obviously, it would be like I think it'd be a fucking fun fight, and I would love to go show the world that. So, however the fuck, whoever it is next that's gonna get me there, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was talking with one of my other buddies and I was like, hey, like for me personally, and that when I found out you pulled out of the fight, I was like, all right, well, Brendan Allen's gonna step in. If Brendan gets it done, I mean, like they may have him fight somebody else before he gets a title shot, or does he just leapfrog right to Hamzat? If RDR wins, for sure he's going right to Hamzat. I mean, it seems
Yeah,
like the natural path. It would have been you or him going right to Hamzat.
yeah,
If RDR wins, are you looking? I would imagine because I'm over here trying to play matchmaker. I'd love to see you and DDP fight because the two of you guys just
bro.
throw caution to the wind. You guys both walk forward. You both like heavy shots. You both can grapple a little bit. Like you've got great and fantastic grappling and wrestling. But the way you put your combinations together with your wrestling, dangerous for anyone. And Hamza, or not Hamza, but DDP just kind of throws caution to the wind. He's like, let's just
Yeah,
fight.
he's a fucking dog. No, I give him respect. I would love that fight, man. I would love to give the people the title fight they wanted. You know what I mean? Instead of fucking watching him get rode out. I
Yeah.
thought he had more like wrestling defense, to be honest, because like you've seen him get up against other guys and shit. But a lot of the shit he did was kind of like kind of looked like big guy shit, like super big, strong guy shit, like where he
Mhm.
explode and you can kind of get out. You know what I mean? There was no continuous flow to his like grappling sequences on defense wise.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that'd be a fun ass fight, man. And like I would love to mix it up with him and show a fucking MMA fight against the world. You know what I mean? That'd be
Yeah.
dope.
I felt like he let a lot like, there was moments where he could have done a little bit more, like, he let a lot of the rounds slip away by just sitting on his knees against the fence, not taking any damage, but
No
not
move,
really.
didn't move, didn't do nothing. Yeah, no. Yeah, he kind of just waited. I mean, I get it. You feel kind of strong in that position, but that's not a weight area. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's a move now. That's that's a fucking. You got to flow now and get those hands unlocked.
Yeah, especially
Uh,
when you're wrestling any of those guys, from that area, they can wrestle, they can hang on the hips, they can do a really good job of just taking time away.
no,
And just I'm surprised there wasn't more not more influence, but more pressure from his coaches and corners to like, hey man, light a fighter in his ass. You gotta go or you're gonna lose this title. And I never saw that. It was like, hey, like, what do you like? Come on, this is it. Like,
yeah,
our title's getting slipped away here. So when I look at Khamzat though, there's so much hype around him. There's so much, so many people talking about he's unbeatable, his dominant performance over DDP. I mean, who do you think? And I'm not going to say, I don't want you to say you because your natural reaction is going to say, yeah, for sure I can
yeah.
fucking beat him. So, but give me somebody else in this weight class at 185 pounds that gives him a hard go. Who are other guys in our weight class that could really compete with him in your weight class?
Honestly, I think fucking. I mean, dude, fuck, I really don't know the division like that well. But who mixes it up pretty
So you
well?
got now you got DDP just showed he can't stop takedowns against Hamza.
Yeah,
You got Nasruddin Imamov, who's number 2. You got Sean Strickland,
his
number
wrestling's
3.
gotten a lot better, but
Yeah.
it's. I don't know. Brandon Allen put him on his back way too easy
Mhm.
in round one. So I
Yeah.
don't see against Kazmat that you're not gonna get it. Like once you give him that once, he's gonna get it again.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there's the history between Hamzat and Sean Strickland. There's that little beef and that little, like they trained
that'd
each
be a
other. They've had a
that'd be
little
a
back and
fun one,
forth.
but he's like he had a similar showing like where he got taken down by
Mhm.
DDP. You know what I mean? And DDP had none of that against Kazmat, so I don't know how that plays out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and then basically we get right to you
I don't
because like
know, but
Izzy,
it's
I don't think is
styles make
confident.
fights. Styles make fights, so you never know. You know what I mean? Like fucking I don't know. Strickland could go in there and maybe he has some secret sauce. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or fucking, there was someone else I was thinking. RDR, he's awkward off his back and like he throws shit up there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that could be exciting to watch too, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
the knees from RDR are really dangerous because
they
anytime you
are.
get within that range, that he knows to knee that liver side. He doesn't really need the far side. He always needs that
No,
liver
yeah.
side as he steps in with long range punches.
Southpaw. Yep.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing when it
No,
comes
for
to throwing
sure.
those knees.
For
So
sure.
very impressive. But I'm gonna go down this list here. You go ahead and give me some guys. If there's any guys, let me just hear. So you got Izzy that's there, Kai Bahalo, Whitaker, Brendan Allen. You got MVP. You've got Cannonier, Delidze, Paulo Costa, Vittori. Any of those guys. Joe Pfeiffer now is in the top 15 right now. Like, how do you think
Hartford's
someone
really
like
good.
he's tough, man.
He's
Physically
really good.
strong, big
He's
power.
really good.
He's got
He's
some
well
good
rounded as
wrestling.
well. Yeah. I would like to see that too. Shit. That would be a good one to see. And then there was someone else you said that fuck. Fuck.
Yeah, you got
There's
MVP. You got Paulo Costa
um,
would be a Paulo Costa is always explosive. He's got decent takedown defense, got heavy hands. He's just a very
yeah.
explosive fighter. And him and Hamzat have some beef as well because I guess Hamzat was DMing his girl.
That's wild.
Oh, geez, man.
Yeah. I
Hamzat
don't
taking it to the
know.
next level.
I
Oh
don't know.
man.
I would like to fight him though. I don't know.
No, I understand. Like I look, I think what they're gonna have end up going on is if RDR does win, he's gonna probably end up getting the automatic title shot. But I could see you
Mhm.
being offered, probably either the Strickland fight, or being offered the DDP fight. So I mean, out of those two guys, who would you like to fight?
I would like to fight DDP because he
Yeah,
did a lot of like really good shit as a champion. You know what I mean? He beat a lot of really big name guys and shit. So I think that if you beat him, that kind of takes that. You know what I mean? Like it would be like a good champion to beat, like a proven champion, I think, or a once proven champion. You know what I mean? Um,
absolutely.
and I'd really
The
like that.
the co-main event also has someone that you fought in Kevin Holland, and you have this young kid named Mike Malott that's coming up. How
I
do you
know I
see
love
that?
Mike.
You like
Mike's my
Mike?
boy.
Talk
That's
to
my
me.
boy.
What about him do you like, and how'd you guys
He's
become boys?
good ass people. He's trained at Alpha Male a long time ago, and like we used to like we have this grappling like little squad of we call it like grappler boys because like everyone at Alpha Male is hella tiny. So like we got to bring in like other guys. You know what I mean? My boy
Yeah.
Loader's out of there, so we have like a group of guys that all meet up and like he's part of that.
Mm.
Uh,
What about
yeah.
what about him? You think because you fought Kevin Holland? What about him? Do you think gives Kevin Holland some problems?
Fucking A. They're both very fast, man. I've gone with both of them. They're both super fast. And then I've never grappled with Holland because he beat my ass. And then Mallet's fucking really good on the ground.
Yeah.
He's really fucking good on the ground. So honestly, I really like. I don't know how that fight. Like, they're both fucking really good. Like, you watch the Magni fight because I would think Magni has a similar body style to kind of Kev. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did a really good job of chopping the legs and stuff. But Kevin's fucking really fast. But so is fucking Mallet. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a very good fight, and like no matter how that fight goes, I'm happy to see it, and they both end up okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got Mike Malott is someone who obviously younger in age, but coming up had a little what about a year ago had a little hiccup. You know,
Yeah,
I'll get him right in the ship right now. And you've got Kevin Holland, who's been a little bit of up and down, you know, as of
yeah.
lately, but really exploded on the scene with like fight after fight after fight. UFC loves
He
that, you know that.
fucking fights anybody. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, like he's one of those guys that's like always ready all the time type of
Yeah.
dude.
I live in the Dallas
Um,
area, and I see him at, like, Fury fights all the time. He's always out rocking, you know, and chasing the action around here in the DFW area, so super cool guy, man.
no,
Energetic,
yeah.
fun to be around, so I'm gonna run through this main card here a little bit, a couple fights I wanted to ask you about, like, how like, I know we talked a little bit off air before we came on, though. I've got Marlon Vera, Chito Vera against, Amin Zahabi. Zahabi, you know, very good stand-up guy. You know, he's got a Taekwondo style stand-up, and you got Marlon Vera, who's just got a granite of a chin, who's fought the who's who of everybody, man. Just a fun fighter, just all-around fun fighter. I mean, like, do you like this fight? How do you see this fight
Uh,
going?
I don't even know who the other guy is, but as far as Marlon, I smoked with him not too long ago in Chicago. I really like the guy. He's cool as fuck, so I'm hoping for him. You know what I mean?
Chito's the
Like
man, bro.
he's a
Chito's the
cool
man.
dude.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I hung out with him down in LA a couple times in the Orange County area there with when it was at Ruka a while back, and then yeah, super cool guy. He was good friends with my buddy Luke Rockhold, and I just saw Luke the other day at
Oh,
Chuck Liddell's wedding. We were at Chuck
nice.
Liddell's wedding on Sunday night. So
Oh,
um
nice. Oh, yeah.
yeah, just a great this should be a good stand-up fight. I think both guys, neither guy's gonna really probably try to take this fight to the ground. So but before I get you out of here, there's one thing that I wanted to ask you about because Dave, can you pull it up? Sean Strickland had some words for you. Can you play this video?
Yeah, I'll play it.
I'm sure you've heard this video, but I want to get your take on it and what your thoughts
I
are
did.
on Sean Strickland
You're gonna
potential.
be done in December and eligible to fight next year.
It's more, what do they call, man? Like, I don't want Izzy. I'm not gonna fight Izzy. It's just, I think it's an easier fight for me. But like, I want to fight that little Chechen whore. Like, I just like, so that's kind of where I'm at. I want to fight somebody like Fluffy. Fluffy puts me in title contention, especially with him, because all he does, he's like the American fucking, you know, he's like the American Chimaev. So you go and I just out wrestle that fucker for like 5 rounds, and then it's like, all right, fuck you, whore. Go beat your cans, and then let me know when you're ready. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm
That's
looking for more
crazy.
fights and put me back in.
No, that shit cracked me up. But bro, it was like what cracked me up is like I'm like, bro, those are all your teammates. Like, how the fuck you gonna call them all cans, bro? You used them to train. Relax. But no, Sean's funny. He's wild. He's always saying we're crazy shit. Every time I see him, he says some wild ass shit. You know what I mean? Like that's just who he is as a person. But I get it. If he wants to fight me, then run it. I don't give a fuck. But I would like to fight DDP because I feel like that would get me to the fucking belt guaranteed. You know what I mean? But either way, I think both fights get me to the fucking belt, so I really don't care. At the end of the day, whoever the matchmakers make the fight with or call me for, I'm gonna sign the waiver and run it.
Nice. I like the Sean Strickland fight for you, man, because you know, Sean, you will stand with Sean. You'll get in the grind with him, and it'll be a dirty, grimy fight. I think on the feet and on the ground. I think you're submission wise. I think you're a notch ahead of him, but he's also very difficult to take down and hold down. You can see I don't want to say
For sure.
cat-like reflexes, but he's maneuvered his way on being able to get himself back up to his feet.
No, for sure. For sure. Either way, I don't give a fuck who it is. I think both fights would be fun. Both fights would be very bloody. And I think we both get a lot of money for those fights. So I don't give a fuck.
Before I get you out of here, is Dave, do you have any fan questions?
Nothing in from YouTube. Excuse me, YouTube side. No.
Okay. Hey, I just want to wish you luck. I want to get you recovered and get back in shape. It doesn't take long. You know that. It's like a
Nah,
when you start feeling back on stride. So, but hey, man, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. And man, get healthy. And I'm looking forward to seeing you get back in the cage.
yeah, appreciate it, man. Absolute pleasure. It's good to see you, Dave.
You too, Anthony.
And anytime you have a fight announcement, anything like that, just hit me up and I'll get you back on so we can talk about it.
Definitely. Sounds
man,
great.
Take it easy, brother.
Have a
See
good
ya,
one.
bro.
Fluffy, my man, Anthony Hernandez, you guys. Thank you.
All right, let's roll on then.
He's such a cool guy, man. Like I said, I've never met him before. I've seen him in passing at like events, but I've never actually sat and talked with him. But super cool guy. I hit him up. I said, "Hey, man, you want to do a pod together?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." It's like, "What do you have in mind?" I was like, "Let's break down, the fight you were supposed to be in. Then you fought Kevin Holland. Let's talk the Mike Malott and Kevin Holland fight and kind of go through that and see where he was at." So good for him, man. I'm glad he's back training. I'm glad he's back getting ready to step back inside the cage. I'd like to see him in that January, February, in those cards there. I haven't seen dates or anything. I did hear about LA, but I don't know when that is. I would imagine sometime if you're hearing about it now, probably January or February. So the only other fight I really wanted to kind of chat about on this weekend's card was, look, if I'm looking in, I'll talk about the top four, to be honest, actually. Let's go Brendan Allen and RDR. This is going to be one of those fights where Brendan Allen is going to have to put the work in on the feet, but he's also got to make sure he stays out of that clinch. And when I look at RDR is somebody that, like I said, in that clinch, because he's so tall, he's so long, he can get down on those people's heads. He can shove them into a front headlock, into that Darce and Anacondas and those guillotines. And if he can't get your head down enough, he starts kneeing the body, starts hitting the liver with the knees, elbows, and clinch. He's got that dirty, grimy style of stand-up. It's almost like throws caution to the wind, just kind of lunges in, reaches for your head. It's not pretty, but it's definitely effective. And so anytime someone like Brendan Allen, who's a little bit more of a technician, pretty slick on the feet, he's got good wrestling, got pretty damn good jiu-jitsu, RDR just brings the threat that just most people are not used to dealing with. Having to deal with someone at 205, at 6'4", something like that. I mean, like, and just his body style, the long limbs, the long legs, all those things, it poses a threat for Brendan Allen. Brendan's got to be very cautious in terms of in that clinch, and also too in the scrambles and hitting to the ground. You don't want to get caught in transition of getting a takedown and giving up your neck. Or if you're like on the way down and RDR starts going ahead and shooting up the triangle, starts shooting up, any type of positions where he can start trying to hit a submission, rolling for the legs, coming underneath, getting the X guard, coming back up to the top and trying to be in the top position. If I'm picking Brendan Allen, I'm not picking Brendan Allen, but I'm saying if I was picking Brendan Allen, I would be trying to keep this thing at range and make it kind of a boring fight, which is a shitty way to talk because I'm a fan. I want to see an exciting fight. But if I'm Brendan Allen, knowing that all I got to do is beat him, and I'm basically right there at number 2, number 3, I'm in this conversation now for a title shot. And so it will probably end up having to be a boring fight. Staying on the outside, long range jabs, staying out of the clinch with RDR, not allowing him to pull me down, not allowing him to knee me and elbow me in the clinch and do to me what he did to Bo Nickel and other guys. So trying to avoid those type of positions is kind of where I'm at with Brendan Allen. RDR, I think the knees and elbows and that griminess of the grappling, I think is going to be too much. And let's just not forget, RDR's fought at 185 and is champ there and won. He's been the 205-pound champ at one as well. He fought for the title for heavyweight, came up short in there, but he's fought guys bigger than him. He's fought guys smaller than him. He knows how to fight the guys that are fast and smaller than him and explosive and can scramble and can grapple. And he can also fight the guys that are big, they don't move as well, but that are physically strong. And so he knows how to fight anybody, anywhere, at any time. His style brings that availability to him. He can do that because of his body style. He just brings things to the table that are very unorthodox. I don't want to say like an MVP or a Lyoto Machida because his stand-up's nowhere near theirs. But it's a style that it's very hard to mimic. It's hard to find guys to bring into the gym that can mimic that style that's going to make it effective. So Brendan Allen's got his hands full. Is also not an extremely short notice fight for Brendan Allen, but still a short notice fight. Most of us like that 8-week camp. I don't think he got a full 8 weeks. And, so will he be in physical tip-top shape to go hard 5 rounds? I think he will be. But like I said, he's going to have to fight a very conservative, more so a boring fight if he wants to get RDR out of there. And he's got to stamp a name on it. He's got to try to find and pick and choose his shots to try to catch RDR, see if he can drop him and then put him away. Or he's going to have to make it more of a boring fight. So we'll see how that all turns out. The Kevin Holland and Mike Malott fight. Mike seems very like stiff in his stand-up, but he's got power. And also Mike seems very physically strong. But will he be able to deal with the range and the reach of Kevin Holland? That's one of those wait and see kind of moments. Will Kevin Holland be able to snap the jab, keep him on the outside, utilize the kicks, and go out there and have fun, but still not have fun to the point where he's taking it serious enough to get the win? So this is definitely I like this fight. It's a fun fight. It kind of puts Mike Malott in a position to kind of crack that top 15 if he can beat Kevin Holland. And Kevin Holland, it just kind of establishes that I'm not ready to be passed over yet. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not going to let this young guy come in here and try to walk through me and make a name off of me. And so Kevin Holland's got his work cut out for him though against this young guy. So, and Mike Malott's he's a good fighter, man, a really good fighter. So Chito Vera versus Ayman Zahabi, good fight. Fun fight. I think it's going to be stylistically a very fun fight for all of us. Zahabi's going to stay on the outside, use more of his kicks and his long range boxing. I think Marlon Vera, Chito, what he's got to be careful of is not letting the rounds slip away like we've seen him do before in the past when he was fighting with Rob Font. He lost every round until the last like 25 seconds. And then he was able to drop Rob Font or hurt Rob Font and then still the round. Zahabi may not make those same mistakes, and you can start losing rounds that way. And I've talked about this when it comes to Chito multiple times. He's just been blessed with that he's got a granite chin, and he's a dog, and he just can't allow those rounds to slip away though, because it doesn't matter how much of a dog you are, you've got to be able to find the fighter in front of you and be able to land that shot to either hurt them or drop them or to do damage. And Zahabi does a really good job of, staying on the outside, keeping that range and distance. He's very good at keeping that range and making you miss and being able to counter and keep you at bay. So Zahabi I'm leaning probably more towards Zahabi in this fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chito was like threw caution to the winds. Like, you know what? Let me just get out there and just slug it out. Let me just get out there and land. I'm not going to look and wait for the best shot. I'm going to bring the fight, because when Chito fights his best is when he brings the fight to his opponent. Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. I think in this fight this is a great fight. Fiorot is just huge for the weight, and Jasmine has very good takedowns and very good grappling. Can Manon keep this thing on the feet? I think she possibly can. And it's going to be a good fight. I think it gives me that throwback feeling of, like UFC 1 through 3, where you have kickboxer versus grappler, and you have, it's whoever can implement their game plan. Can this person keep it on the feet? Can this person, get it to the ground? And in this person getting it to the ground, how much damage do they take in trying to get it to the ground? And how tired do they get trying to get it to the ground? And the stand-up person, do they throw any punches that actually cause damage to actually win the round? Or are they just defending the whole time and slowly losing the rounds and losing the fight because they were so afraid to throw punches because they didn't want to get taken down? So you could potentially see a very boring fight. I don't think you're going to get that with this fight. I think Jasudavicius is very aggressive. She brings the action. And I think Manon, she is somebody that she's got enough power and she's got enough size, I think, on her to really go ahead and like start touching Jasmine and making her second guess on the takedowns. And I think this to me makes for a very good fight, a very, very good fight. I'm going to kind of just skirt through this. The Davy Grant and Charles Jourdain fight, exciting fight. Look for that fight to probably end up being one of those fights where you can say it's probably fight of the night. I've yet to really see Charles Jourdain in a really bad fight. He's always fun to watch. He brings it. He's got a little bit of judo. He's good on the feet. He's a scrappy fighter. Love watching him fight. So, and then you've got Drew Dober. I'm sorry, but anytime I can watch Drew Dober fight, whether he's on a losing streak, I think he's on a 3-fight losing streak right now, but it doesn't matter to me. I love watching Drew Dober fight. I look at Drew Dober almost as if like a Dan Hooker, except Dan's had a little bit more success and being there at the top. But Dan, like, I've yet to really see Dan in a boring fight, except for when he loses to like someone like an Islam or someone where he gets submitted. I'm yet to see him really in a boring fight. Drew Dober seems to always be in exciting fights. So that I think this fight against Propalik will end up being a really good fight. All right, hey, so that's gonna wrap up our talk on this UFC fight night. This is a fight night, correct? Yeah, UFC fight night in Canada. In Canada. That's gonna wrap it up. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that interview with Fluffy Anthony Hernandez. And man, let's go ahead and get into some news. What do you got for us, podcast, Dave?
In fact, before we go to this, do you want to?
Okay. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, look, DDP is I think that's the fight that he would really love to have. And I think as a fan, I'm a fan of the sport. And I think all of you guys that listen to this show, you guys are probably a little bit more hardcore fans because you guys jumped on the bandwagon because John is the original referee, me being a former world champion. You guys liked our banter back and forth and the history of which we brought to the sport. You guys are more hardcore fans. So hardcore fans want to see the dog fights. We want to see the fights that with the top level guys, we want to see them mix it up and get after it. The Fluffy and the DDP fight writes potential fight of the year all over it. Like I could see both of those. I could see that fight with both those guys being a fight of the year candidate. And sadly, if they don't do it before the end of the year, which I don't think that'll happen, is that it'll end up happening early in the year. So by the end of next year, when they do the whole MMA awards and all this stuff, that fight will probably have been forgotten. That's what sucks about when you fight early in the year. If you have a slobber knocker of a fight, it's very rarely that you end up winning the fight of the year because there's other fights that happen like in September, October, November, December, whatever it is, that it's fresh in people's minds. Oh man, that fight was so awesome. I would love to see DDP versus Fluffy. It just has all over it. Both of them will stand. For me, Fluffy's a little bit smaller for the 185-pound division. But as I've talked several times with other fighters and even with a lot of referees and Big John himself, is these other fighters now that are the tweeners, they have more success when they go up in weight instead of trying to kill themselves. Kelvin Gastelum's had a ton of success at 185 pounds. And he kept trying to make that weight at 170, just wasn't able to do it. And, and his fights at 170 weren't anywhere near as good as his fights at 185. He's a better fighter at 185. And I think that Fluffy is, to me, like he has a smaller body frame, and I can see him potentially killing himself to get to 170. But why? He's having success at 185 and doing a damn good job of it in the way that he's beaten these fighters. I mean, Rodolfo Vieira is huge for 185 pounds, and Fluffy is killing it. He's crushing it at that weight class. I love watching him fight. I mean, think about that. He's got 2 wins over Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen right now is fighting basically in his spot for a number 1 contender fight against RDR. That lets you know like how good Fluffy is. So I think him and DDP is a fantastic fight. Absolutely a fantastic fight. That fight is the one that interests me the most. If RDR wins, I see RDR versus Khamzat. The winner of that fight will probably fight the winner of DDP, or maybe not DDP if DDP wins and Khamzat wins, but I think it'll end up being Fluffy versus DDP. And I think if Fluffy wins, he goes right to the title shot against Khamzat. So some good action in there. I think there's some fun fights to be had there. What else you got for me there, Dave? All right, so look, I just dropped the show this morning or this afternoon, basically breaking all these fights down, and I'm going to do it again now, but I did it with my buddy Angelo from Bad Takes, so you guys can check that video out. But I'm going to give you my own personal insight on this as well. So we had a lot of banter back and forth. Angelo is a little corny with his picks and stuff, but I understand this is why we have fun, doing the show like that. But for me, where would I put him? I think it was Luke Thomas. He's like, hey, if he does this and he beats Peter Yan, and that you could say he's the best bantamweight, ever. And I'm not ready to say that. And look, and it has nothing to do with the guys that he's beaten. It's the simple fact of the matter is that I still put Dominic Cruz ahead of him because it's always easier to go back in history and say, oh yeah, but these guys weren't on the same level as the guys now. Yeah, because that's the way the sport works. That's normally the way these sports work. Like, do you think like the Super Bowl champions from Super Bowl 1, 2, and 3 can beat the teams that are winning the Super Bowl now? No, everything's so much more complicated now. There's so many more schemes they run. There's so many more ways. The field goal kickers now can kick 60, 70-yard field goals now. It's different. The balls are different. The pads are different. Like, everything is different. In the fight game, it's evolved so much. I mean, that's like it's like going back to UFC 1, like, oh, Hoist, wouldn't have a chance now. It's not fair to do that to guys like Dom. Like, and to do that to a lot of former champions. Like, oh yeah, because all we can witness is all that we talk about, and it's human nature to do this, is it's always what we see in front of us that we think is the best. And I just said that about the fight of the year. It's because, if that fight of the year happens in January, February, March, we tend to forget about it versus the fights that happen in September, October, November, December. We always have a tendency as fans and as people and humans to think about, what did I just see last? What's the most memorable moment I had just most recently? And that's, to me, is the best. So, look, I think Merab is right there. I'm not going to knock him. I think he's fantastic. I love everything about Merab. There's not, what do you not? How do you not like this guy? When he first came, and I said this a couple weeks back, I said, when he first was making his run and he was waiting for Aljo to vacate the title or to lose the title and this and that, I was like, man, I'm like, this guy, what is he doing? Like, I was like very corny over the whole thing. But as he kept doing more videos on social media, as he became more likable, and as he started racking up these wins, I started noticing him. I started thinking to myself, man, you're fun. You're fun to be around. Like, the energy you have, the Sean O'Malley wig and the leather jacket, how you stole Sean O'Malley's leather jacket, all that stuff was amazing. Absolutely great. Great footage for fans, great footage for social media, great way to build your brand. And then you see all the corny stuff that Merab does, jumping in a frozen river head first, banging his head really hard, like climbing a rock with one broken arm, like up the side of a landscape of a rock. Like, if he falls, he could really get hurt. Like, doing things that we tell our kids not to do, like our 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. This guy's out there doing it while he's injured, or while he's the champion, or while he's the number one contender. He's out there doing things that we're like, no, what are you doing? But that's what makes him lovable. That's what makes the fans clamor to him. They're like, man, this guy's fun. He just got a good heart. He's got, and the way he treated the whole Aljo situation, it just makes everyone love him even more. And so when I look at Merab, I think to myself, if I have to compare him to Dom, the only reason why I put Dom ahead of him is, and this is the only reason why, is Dom went away for 3 years and came back. He vacated his title because of injury after injury after injury with his knees. Comes back and wins the title again 3 years later. I don't care who you are. 3 years away is difficult to take that time off and come back and become the champion again. He literally took 3 years of his prime away, came back and became the champ. And who did he beat? Look at the guys that he beat when he came back to get his title. He beat TJ Dillashaw. And TJ Dillashaw put it all on Renan Barão. And like, there's got, like, it just was one of those. I know he ended up losing to Cody Garbrandt, and Cody, that was probably the greatest performance I've ever seen in an actual title fight, especially against someone like Dominic Cruz. But he ends up beating TJ Dillashaw. He ends up beating Uriah Faber. I mean, he beats Mizugaki, I think is what his name was, coming back. That wasn't a title shot, but that was him coming back after his 3 years off. But before that, when he had left, he beat Demetrius Johnson. He beat Uriah Faber. He beat Scotty Jorgensen. Like, he beat name guys, really good guys. Uriah Faber was no slouch. You guys should all know that. Uriah Faber was a fucking mainstay in that 145-pound division, 145-pound division. Like, he beat those guys. So, and then beating DJ. Like, DJ is considered to be one of the GOATs. Why did he not get credit for it? Oh, because DJ was smaller. Like, he's beat these guys. So I look at what he did. He left from injury while everyone else was getting better and basically holding his world title while he was off trying to recover, he wasn't supposed to be getting better. He wasn't supposed to be as good as he was when he left. And he came back and then beats that guy who was holding his title while he was gone. That says a lot. That says a lot. You know, and then all the things that we know now, like with the TJ Dillashaw situation, and like, you know, whether he was using stuff during that time or not, the bottom line is, like, that's going to stick with him. That's very unfortunate because he's obviously a dog, man. TJ Dillashaw was a fucking stud. Someone can bite down the mouthpiece and let after it. But I put Dominic Cruz still ahead of Merab at this moment. At this moment. I will say this, Merab, though, if he beats Pantoja, because Pantoja's talking about coming up, if he gets past Joshua Van, that's huge. Because there's a lot of pressure on Merab to beat somebody who is a smaller fighter, like, oh, I'm supposed to be able to walk through this guy, da-da-da. And then if he's able to do that, then he turns around and he decides to go up and fight Volkanovski or fight whoever's the champion there, whether it's Evloev or whoever he decides to fight at 145, if he does go up, and if he captures a second title, then I'll put him above Dominic Cruz. Absolutely, I will. I think even if he beats Pantoja, because there's so much pressure on an athlete to beat the team or to beat the fighter or to beat the person that you're supposed to beat. There's no pressure on Pantoja for him to go up and win. There's more pressure to come down and win. Like to fight the guy who's coming, to fight the guy that's coming up, and you're in your weight class. You're supposed to be able to beat that guy. He's the smaller guy. He's, you know, like you're supposed to be able to beat that person. And so there's more pressure on Merab to get it done against Pantoja. And if he can handle that pressure, I think he beats Pantoja. I love Pantoja. I think he's fantastic. I just think in this situation, Merab he's one big fight away, I think, from being ahead of Dominic Cruz. Just not yet. What else you got?
Get your reaction here.
Yeah, so this is December 6th. This is the main event. You got Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. This is their second fight. Merab kind of ran away with the first fight. He was just all over Yan. He was able to, you know, just do what he wanted to do. I mean, he had moments in the fight. Yan had moments in the fight, but not really enough to really even skew anything. Merab is just the tenacity, the aggressiveness, all that. I think what you're going to see in this fight is you're going to see a very similar fight that you saw in the first fight. I think the confidence of Merab and the activity, 4 fights in 1 year, in one calendar year, that's huge. I think he will have been the only fighter to ever do this. And there's something to be said about guys that are that active. Their confidence is growing. They're just constantly thinking they're unstoppable. He never gets out of rhythm. He only gets better and continues to grow on his performances based on the fact that he's never out of the gym. You know, he's learning from his last fight and moving on to the next fight. He hasn't taken really any damage because of his aggressiveness, because of his cardio and his push. Like, I don't see. In the flip side is he's fighting Petr Yan. And Petr Yan has been, I would say, one fight a year? Can you pull that up, Dave? Petr Yan has been, I think, 1 fight a year for the last 3 or 4 years. Maybe 2 fights in a calendar or like in a year, but it's based on, you know, like if it was from January to January, I mean, like it would probably be considered to be like 1 fight a year. Yeah. Yeah. So he's averaging 2 fights pretty much a year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like he's not as active as Merab. He's been kind of slipping through the cracks. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's giving the UFC a hard time, but I haven't seen a lot of publicity about him. Whereas when he came onto the scene, they were all about him. They were pumping him like he's got great boxing, his foot sweeps, all of these things. Like they couldn't stop talking about how great he was. And then here we go with Merab. Merab just steps in, it's just running through dudes. And now, you know, Merab is the shiny new toy. I just think it's going to end up being the same exact thing. I think Merab is going to end up doing what he did in the first fight. I think Yan will make it a little bit tougher fight, a little bit, but not much. I think you're going to end up seeing the same fight. That's December 2nd. That will be the main event. It will be a 5-round fight. And Merab going for 4 fights in a calendar year is huge. What's the next fight? There we go. The fight I was just talking about. I think this has fight of the year candidate written all over it. And the reason why I say it does is because Joshua Van is a stud. He's pretty much the relatively unknown to the casual fan. A lot of hardcore fans will know exactly who he is. He's coming off a great performance over Brandon Royval, and it was a slobber knocker of a fight, but an absolute great fight. Pantoja being that dog, can he get Joshua Van down? Can he stand with Joshua Van? Joshua Van, I think, has got the better stand-up. I think Pantoja's stand-up has gotten a lot better, but the grappling aspect of it is Pantoja's the better grappler. I wouldn't say he's the better wrestler, though. They're probably equal in different styles of wrestling as well. Joshua Van's really good at stuffing takedowns, keeping himself on the feet. He's shorter in stature. I mean, they're both kind of small guys at 125 pounds. They're like they weigh about the same as Dave's leg, not his third leg, his real leg. But but I think this fight right here, because it's happening in December, this fight right here has the makings of fight of the year candidate, because it's something that we will most have recently seen, and the two of them are going to get after it. I don't see this fight having a dull moment whatsoever from beginning to end. The only sad part will be is that someone may get knocked out and someone may get finished quickly. So by round 2 or 3, someone may get submitted or someone may get knocked out. And that's great. I think it's that, I would expect something like that, because both of them are just that way. Both of them are trying to get after. They're trying to prove that they're ready to continue being the champion or to be the champion. But this is a great fight. Absolute great fight. Great co-main event. Amazing fight. Looking forward to this fight. What else you got?
Next fight on here.
You got Guskov versus Blachowicz. Jan, I think, is 42. Jan Blachowicz is I think 42 years old. Guskov, they're trying to bring in, I think, what's Guskov ranked? Number 11? Somewhere in there?
Ranked.
Yeah, I think he's ranked number 11.
11 or 11. Yeah, Guskov.
11, yeah. 11. He's ranked number 11. I think they're bringing Guskov in to try to, kind of push the old guy out, which is common. At 42 years old, he's making a lot of money. He's a former champion. You're not worth what we're paying you now. But we don't want to tell you to leave because you are a former champion. We want to show you a little bit of respect. We're going to give you this young guy. This young guy can come in and push you out, or you can put him out, and then maybe we can start talking about what we can do with you, almost like a Glover Teixeira type, fight or action, where we can have you, start make a little push towards the title again. Maybe we'll see. Maybe you have him in like a Dominic Reyes, kind of do that thing, or maybe you have somebody else and him closer to the top. Not saying, because look, let's not forget, Jan Blachowicz is a tough fight for everyone. He's never just been walk through. I think there was one fighter, I think they'll walk through him. I can't remember who. There was one I recall where he lost, and I think he just got walked through in that fight. But the rest of the time, he's a tough fight. He was a tough fight for Ankalaev. He was a tough fight for Alex Bejeda, which most people, I think, would say that he probably beat Alex. There was just he's a tough fight for everyone. So this is not an easy fight for Guskov. I think Guskov is a good fighter. This is a good moment for him to try to beat the 42-year-old and make his run towards the top. I mean, what's Blachowicz ranked? Number 6?
Blachowicz is 4.
Oh, number 4. Wow. That's a huge step up in competition. But a good fight for him, though. A good fight for Guskov to try to get up in that top 5 ranking. So what else you got for me, Dave?
All right, next fight on here. I think it's the last one they've announced here. So it's Cejudo and Talbot.
This fight is, I just said in a video earlier, Henry Cejudo said this will be his last fight. I think this is why he took the fight. The UFC is, want to see if Peyton Talbot is the real deal. Can you beat a Olympic gold medalist, a 2-time champion? Can you beat somebody like Henry Cejudo? Can you stop the takedowns? Peyton Talbot's loss has been to another wrestler. I think it was Yanni Barcelos, or who did he lose to? Yanni Barcelos, I think, is who he lost to. Peyton Talbot. And he lost by getting wrestled. He got wrestled by an older guy.
Barcelos, yeah.
Yeah, Barcelos. So, he lost to him. And the fact that he lost to him, Henry Cejudo is levels above him in wrestling. Now, Barcelos is also someone who's physically really strong. And so I could see like the control, the top pressure, but that was just it was a hiccup in the road for Peyton Talbot. And can Henry put that hiccup back in the road? Can he wrestle him? The thing with Henry, though, is Henry's really good at getting the takedowns, but Henry's not the best at holding guys down. And Peyton Talbot is a very big 135-pound fighter. He's huge for the weight. And so can Henry take him down, and can Henry hold him down? That's the question. And on the feet, Peyton Talbot's got more power, but Henry Cejudo is the faster fighter. Henry can kick the calf. Henry can get in, get out. He's got to avoid getting hit with the big shot. But Peyton Talbot's got power, man. And we've seen that he can take it. He's got a pretty good chin. He can take it on the chin. But can he stop the wrestling of Henry Cejudo? And I think that's really what it comes down to. And can Henry hold him down? Henry's gonna have to do that for 3 hard rounds. So that makes for a fun fight. I'm glad to see Henry, announcing that this is his last fight and moving on. For me, I get a little, I don't want to say bitter, but I think about it, I'm like, man, where would you be had you not taken those 3 years off, Henry Cejudo? Like, where would your legacy be in this? Look, you're a 2-division champion. Like, your legacy's already set, and you're an Olympic gold medalist. Like, your legacy's set. But had you not taken the 3 years off, like, where would you be in that whole thing? Like, I honestly could have seen like one more title defense at 135, and I think you would have went up to 45. And who was the champ at that time? Volkanovski, another shorter, smaller guy, which would have been a tailor-made fight for you. I'm not saying you would have won, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to pick someone to fight, if you're Henry Cejudo, coming off being the 25-pound champ and the 35-pound champ and having a chance to beat the guy who's the 145-pound champ, it would have been Volkanovski. Both guys shorter in stature. I mean, like, I think Henry, when he left, his stand-up was fucking on point. And you mix that in with his inside trips and his single leg to double leg, like the chain wrestling. I mean, like, it would have been a very impressive fight. He would have, he would have to put some weight on. He would have had to, because Volk was coming, I don't want to say coming down a weight, but Volk was a really big guy for a while. And in that situation, Volk was just dealing with bigger guys, whereas Henry would have been the faster fighter. Henry would have been the better wrestler / scrambler. And as Islam said, man, Australia, they don't have wrestling. What wrestling, brother? They don't have. So, but in that, I always just wondered what his legacy would have been had he not left for 3 years. Very, very, it's a what if moment for me with Henry Cejudo. There was another fight, Dave, that not on this card, though. It was named for the Islam card. Yes, there it is. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. An absolute amazing fight. Huge fan of Sean Brady. I've had him on the podcast twice. Michael Morales got big power, young kid. What is he? Can you look it up, Dave? What is he, like 26? He might be 27. Sean Brady, I think, is 32, maybe somewhere around there. But I think Michael Morales is 26, maybe 27.
Yeah, 26.
26. What a baby. Got a good look to him. Very explosive. He's got big power. But I will point this out. I was talking with my buddy Angelo today, and he brought up a very good point. Michael Morales is one of those guys that has a tendency just to like kind of let the round slip by. Like, there's no sense of urgency when he is fighting. And if you guys want to hear mine and Angelo's takes on the fights and the matchups and the banter back and forth, go ahead. We dropped the video earlier today. You guys can watch that as well. We're trying to bring you as much content as we possibly can for these next, obviously forever. So doing whatever we can to bring you guys some extra content on this platform here. So, but Michael Morales he's young. I think he almost feels like that. I've got plenty of time. If I lose this fight, I'm going to be around for another 5-6 years. I'll get it back. Like, he's got to stop with that mentality, because I've seen too many times where guys get that mentality and then the fight just slips away and they start losing fights like that all the time. And one way to get out of the good graces of the UFC is to lose those kind of fights. Because we go back to the original Ultimate Fighter and the whole comment by Dana, do you want to be a fucking fighter? Well, show me you want to be a fighter. Show me that aggression. Show me that killer instinct. Show me that, like, I'm here to just take your head off and dominate you, control you, and finish you, either knock you out, submit you, but get you out of this cage. You don't deserve to be in here with me. We haven't seen that from Michael Morales. Don't get me wrong, he's got finishes. Absolutely. but that's a lot of that has to do with his athleticism, his power, he's I think like a multiple time Nicaraguan? I might where's
Where
he
he's from?
Yeah, I think
He's from Ecuador.
Ecuador, sorry. Ecuador. He's like a multiple time national champion wrestling of Ecuador. He also is a judo national champ, I think is what I was told earlier too. And yeah, he's got it. Like he's got the things, but Sean Brady to me right now is he just can't. I don't think Sean Brady can be denied. I think if Michael Morales gets taken down, there's levels to, I think, the grappling aspect of it all. Sean Brady is a lot better grappler than Michael Morales. Now on the feet, Michael Morales has got a chance. He's got a puncher's chance. He's explosive. He's fast. I think he's faster than Sean Brady. Sean's stand-up is good. I just think that the punching power and the reach and the range of Michael Morales, if he touches Sean's chin, Sean could be in trouble. Sean's got a hell of a chin. He's only got the one loss to Bilal Muhammad. But overall, though, I think this is a great fight. This puts you right into that number one contender fight. And I also believe that the UFC loves the fact that Sean Brady, they said, you can fight this fight or you can wait till next year to fight. And he's like, nah, man, I got to fight. I got to make money. Not only just make money, but I've also just got to keep my name relevant. Like the biggest, the dumbest thing, which I did myself a couple times, is I didn't wait for a title shot, but I waited for a fight. And that's just dumb. Just fight. The reason being is because like the more active you are, and Merab is proving that right now, the more active you are, the better you get, and the confidence grows with it. Now, don't get me wrong, there'll be guys out there like, that's a bad matchup for me. But stay active, stay busy. Be the fighter that chases that dream. Just remember, it's not going to change when you're champion. You have to fight whoever's there. You don't get to say like, oh, I'm going to wait for that guy. No. As the champion, you just fight whoever they put in front of you. That's why I've admired Merab so much, Islam so much, Habib so much. I mean, I admired those fighters. John Jones, that's one thing you can admire about John Jones. He never was picking and choosing his opponents until the end when he didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. But like he wasn't picking and choosing his opponents until the end. And that's what you admire about these fighters. So Sean has the right approach, I believe, in taking this fight, staying active and staying busy, and making sure that he's not sitting on side, because you cannot mimic real life fight speed unless you're inside that cage. You can't do it in training. It's not the same. You know, you're not sparring hard with 4-ounce gloves. You're using 16-ounce gloves, or you're using like the bigger 12-ounce MMA sparring gloves. You're all padded up. You got knee pads on, shin guards on, you got elbow pads on, you got headgear on. Most of it has ankle wraps on. Like we've got everything on. Like we're all padded up. You just cannot mimic the speed and the pace of a real fight inside the gym. So Sean Brady to me right now is doing the right thing. He's staying busy, staying active, and I think he's chasing that dream. This is good for him. This is good for him. And I think if Sean gets past Michael Morales, and especially if he's able to finish him, he'll be next in line for the title shot. He's been trying to stay busy. He's trying to stay in the good graces of the UFC, and I think it's a good moment for him. What else you got for us there, podcast, Dave?
Let's hit a couple of these super chats before we wrap this thing up here. Alejandro Gutierrez, thoughts on last week's Dana White Contender Series fighters winning $25K each and a contract?
I didn't hear about that. I was out of town last week, and then obviously traveling to Vegas for Chuck's wedding and stuff. But I didn't hear about that. But I will say this: that's great. I got to be honest. I'm fucking super jealous. And I was just talking with Forrest Griffin. I was just talking with Matt Hughes. I was just talking with Chuck Liddell on Sunday. I was talking with Luke Rockhold. Even Luke kind of was a baby when he came into the sport, and the money wasn't what it is. These guys, I mean, I go back and I want to remind you guys, when I fought Yves Edwards, I was the number one guy in the world, ranking wise, in the UFC, and the number one guy. I was ranked number one in the world. I made 8-8 for that fight. 8,000 and 8,000. That was supposed to be for the UFC lightweight title. It didn't happen because the UFC was hemorrhaging money, and they just didn't want to put a title up. They're like, no, we're literally trying to get rid of weight classes because we need to focus on the bigger guys, which is Chuck Liddell, Tito, and Randy Couture, and all the heavyweights, right? So they're like, no, like that's it. Like that is, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I look back, I'm like, these guys making 25 grand. You're making $25,000 on the Dana White Contender Series. That's amazing. And I'm happy for you guys. I'm a little jealous, but I'm happy. The reason why, because I'm not one of those salty, SOBs. that runs around going, "Oh man, we should have been us." And like I've had conversations with people, and they're just like, "Oh, these guys are fucking so spoiled." Yeah, they probably are a little bit, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they can make money, they take care of their families, put a roof over their head. Just hope they're being smart with it. I made a fraction of that, and I was able to buy multiple houses. I was able to open multiple businesses, and I made a fraction of what you guys made. Can you imagine if what you guys are making? You guys should be able to do so many things, so many things. So I'm happy for the Dana White Contender Series fighters. 25 grand is huge. Good for them. Stoked for them. And hopefully that helps them with their training camp so they can get better and focus on what they want to do. This is an all-in sport. This is not a, I'm going to do this. It was back in the day. We all had a day job and still were training, and then we'd fight on the weekends. But the talent wasn't what it is now. Like, these guys are fully dedicated to nutritionists, strength conditioning coaches, full-time coaches, like training the where you're in the gym in the morning, you're in the gym in the evening, like you're running your miles. Like, this is not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's all in or all out. And the fight game it should always be that way. I don't want to be a 1 foot in, 1 foot out fighter. Dana talks about this all the time. You don't want the fighter who says that they're thinking about retiring. Just retire. Like, if you're thinking about it and you're talking about it, just do it. Because you got 1 foot out already. And it's already in your mind. See you later. The only fighter that he didn't want to see do that was Khabib. He's like, "No, man, don't go anywhere. What are you doing? Like, I need you. I need that second Conor fight. He's like, "Nah, I'm good." So that was one. But yeah, what else you got for what other super chats?
All right, last one here is Zeke662. Oh wait, two more actually. Zeke662. Let's just say UFC wants Kayla versus Amanda at the White House. Would they put them to sit and wait? Would they pay them to sit and wait for that card? Curious about that. What fighters sit around and wait with no pay? A little confusing right in there, but
no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, if you want, because you want a 2-time Olympic gold medalist who represents America, and I said this months ago, but now the John Jones and the Alex Pereira fight kind of makes a little bit of sense, and I can see that being the main event. But do you wait for Kayla Harrison to fight Amanda Nunes? I think you actually do. I think you wait for that fight. And I think you put that as the co-main event. You put Alex versus John. That's the biggest draw. And I also believe that you don't do it at heavyweight because Alex has already made it clear. He actually did an interview the other day and said, "I'm not chasing the Tom Aspinall fight. I don't want the Tom Aspinall fight. I want the John Jones fight." So he doesn't need to fight at heavyweight. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, he wants the third title." Yeah, sure, he wants the third title. But you know what else he wants more than that? He wants the John Jones fight. You know, the one that will cement your legacy the most will be the one that where you want to be the person that beats John Jones, who everyone considers to be the greatest of all time. That will cement his legacy way more than having that third title. Way more. Because then eventually someone else is going to come down the line and do what, Alex was maybe close to doing or whatever it is. But because that's what we do, right? Humans natural. It's just natural for us to just, okay, look, there's something more important now down the line as time goes by. But I think that that Alex would rather fight John Jones. And I also think that Alex would probably rather fight John Jones at 205. Put Alex's belt on the line against John Jones at the White House. Now I'm beating John Jones at the weight class that he dominated for so long. That cements my legacy if I beat John Jones. If I knock out John Jones or I beat John Jones, that's huge. That's way bigger to me, I think, than fighting a guy who's got one title defense. Doesn't even have a title defense. He's got an interim title defense, I believe. Tom Aspinall. I like that. Look, I understand going up and trying to capture the heavyweight title. I get it. But I honestly believe beating Tom Aspinall right now is not as big of it's not anywhere near as big a deal as beating John Jones at 205 for his title. Huge. That's the fight to make. And then you put Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes. I think Amanda also, she's been training. That's what the word is. She's been training. But I think Amanda would love to wait and fight Kayla Harrison on the White House card. Everyone's clamoring. Everyone's wants Everyone's putting their name in the hat. They want the White House card. Well, Kayla Harrison is 2-time Olympic gold medalist and multiple-time champion in the PFL and, UFC champion. Like, you can't ask for a bigger name. America. I think that's really what you got to do. So that, and then whatever fights you ever put on there. Go ahead and put those other fights on there. I mean, my biggest question is, where does Conor fall in all this? Because he's not a champ, but he's, supposedly the biggest draw. So where do you put him? Dave, that's a question for you.
He's not supposedly the biggest draw. He is the biggest draw. So
do you still think he's the biggest draw? Do you think he'll end up still being the biggest draw?
I do think that for one more, I do think that given the time he's been away, one more fight, he will draw similar numbers. If he came back, like let's say he lost in Dustin Poirier fashion to Michael Chandler, I think he would that would kind of diminish at that point. I mean, he fought Dustin when he fought him the second time, and that was like Dustin caught him and then finished it out, right? And then the one after that, he broke his ankle. So I feel like you never really got that true trilogy fight between those two.
Yeah.
And so it was still open to interpretation as to who's a better fighter. I mean, that's maybe just my opinion, but you're asking my opinion. And then
Scotland, he's from Ireland. You guys are like little homies. You guys just read it. Well, you guys are like right there next to each other, like little neighbors. So I can see why you're sticking up for him. I get it.
So I mean, I think if he comes back and fights Chandler, there's enough of a draw there. I mean, Conor's a draw regardless. He's just not as big as he was at one point, but I think he still draws. I mean, on Paramount Plus, it won't, or on ABC, whatever it is,
CBS.
or CBS. It doesn't sound like it's going to matter too much.
Yeah.
But
I think, do you have him fight Chandler? Or do you have him fight Max Holloway for the BMF title?
I think you have him fight Chandler. I think I want to see, I know you don't like Chandler, but I do want to see Chandler get that big payday because he has to ride off in his sunset coming up here. So
does he?
I mean, unless he just wants to keep taking a whooping.
All right, what else you got for us, Dave? What other questions?
That's it. Wrap up there.
Okay, I thought you said we had 2 more.
Oh, Alejandro. No, it wasn't a question. It was just he just said, please watch Dana White Contender Series fight. It was really good. Podcast Dave Josh, really worth watching that fight.
Hey guys, do us a favor, man. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Subscribe to our channel. And man, it's been great, man. We're having fun. What do you got, Dave? I feel like you have already say something. Hey guys, I did have a lot of you guys. I had probably close to about 15 people reach out to me through my DMs in my Instagram. I want to thank you guys. You guys have been very supportive. I've also started reading the comments too. I got away from the comments for a little bit. I kind of read a couple the other day. You guys have been awesome, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys are loving the show. I'm gonna keep trying to do things that we can. I know next Tuesday we've got Misha Tate coming on to break down the pay-per-view fights, especially the female fight, which is the co-main event. And I'm supposed to be doing an interview tomorrow with Umar. He had to reschedule. I don't know when it's going to happen, but hopefully we get that done here in the next couple of weeks. He's over in Abu Dhabi right now, and I know that Islam and I have been chatting back and forth to see if I could try to get him on as well. So a lot of things coming up, trying to reach out, trying to get some fighters on and kind of fill the void. But Angelo will be jumping on here with me. We will be setting aside some shows that we will give you guys on a weekly basis. So you guys can always tune in. Angelo and I also have a show called Bad Takes. And but we'll be doing some shows for this show for the Wayne In YouTube channel, specifically for you guys. So hope you guys enjoy it. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support me. Hit that like, subscribe button, become a member, a $4.99 member or $1.99 member, and you guys enter yourselves into a giveaway every month. So I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support me, and we are out.